I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. I made the decision here at the news desk today to cover these media things going on. First, we dealt with Tucker Carlson just a few moments ago, and that boy from up there in Boston calling him a bald-faced liar. So we're going to see how that's going to work out. But here this morning, here's the other thing is that in the media is Don Lemon. Y'all know him. That's that Hamite brother. And I think he's either married to or dating some white man. And they used to live actually, this is absolute truth. Where I sit right now, they used to live 2 blocks from where I'm sitting right now. They used to live on Frederick Douglass Boulevard. It's 2 blocks from here. I think they moved out again when they out of Holland. I don't know what happened. But anyway, Don Lemon has been pulled. Here's the headline. That Don Lemon pulled from CNN this morning amid sexist remarks. Now, Don Lemon, as everybody knows, is an avowed, out of the closet, very proud homosexual. They said he made a sexist remark? Something's going on. I'm going to read the rest of the story, then I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to give you my take, because what I think is always right. Before I give you my take, I'm going to let you see what the rest of people think, then I'm going to tell you what's really going on. All right? So let's just read the article. It says, Don Lemon was taken out of the lineup ahead of Monday's slate on CNN's morning programming due to comments Lemon made last week about South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley not being in her prime and the social media backlash that ensued. CNN is still in discussion regarding Lemon's future, reports the Daily Beast. Lemon did not appear on CNN this morning on Friday because he had he had a planned day off. His co-host Caitlin Collins announced on air. USA Today reported that Sarah Seidner, a senior national correspondent on CNN, will fill in for Lemon in the meantime. The original comments, which came Thursday, were in response to Haley's presidential campaign announcement that included a call for mandatory mental competency tests for politicians over 75 years old. Oh, I see. Don Lemon attends the Michael Kors Collection Fall-Winter 23 runway show on February 15th. All right? That's a photo of him there with them huge sunglasses. Y'all know Michael Kors. Maybe some of y'all do, some of y'all don't. Don't get out of bed shape if you don't know him. Lemon said that idea made him uncomfortable, adding Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Oh, I see. Sorry. A woman is said to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s. In an apology, however, Friday, Lemon was reported to have been remorseful during a morning editorial call. I quote and unquote, quote, what I said came out wrong and I wish I hadn't said it, close quote, Lemon. He told his colleagues, according to a source quoted by the Daily Beast, quote, I believe women of any age can do anything they set their minds to. The people I am closest to in this organization are women, close quote. CNN CEO Chris Lick said he was disappointed by Lemon's comments. It's still unknown when or if Lemon will be returning to CNN broadcast anytime soon. So let me tell you what's going on. I'll tell you, I'll go line by line. First of all, Don Lemon is he's an overt and a very proud, if you will, homosexual. All right? And he's always been that. But, going back a year ago, there was another very talented broadcaster on CNN at the 8 o'clock spot called Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo was very talented. He had a great camera presence. He had a great sense of delivering the news, and he was likable. He was an anchor in the very competitive, if you will, primetime news watch at night on CNN, and held a big audience. So Chris Cuomo's brother, Andrew Cuomo, who was the governor of the state of New York, had a real thing for women. That boy. That boy like women. Anyway, so he was out there, every woman on his police staff. He was out there. Well, I shouldn't be saying. But he's a legend. Let me put it this way. Pastor Man, he be giving that bad name to Chris Cuomo. You said you knew his father, Mario. Y'all supposed to have been friends. Or at least Pastor Stanley and Mario Cuomo, who was the governor of New York, was friends with your Pastor Stanley. Well, he was. So anyway, Andrew Cuomo become governor of the state of New York sometime later, right? But the word that said the boy likes a lot of women. He was, he's out there anything. He's worse than Bill Clinton. Chris Rock, he said with Monica Lewinsky, he said one night, Bill Clinton was in the Oval Office by himself, and he's feeling like going to town with some woman. He looked out the door. He stuck his head out the door, and Monica was coming down the hallway. Come on in here, girl. You hear Chris Rock tell that thing. Chris Rock can tell that thing. Come on in here, girl. It was on. Anyway, so Andrew Cuomo got in a lot of trouble. Finally, Al Sharpton came out against him. All the black people came out against Andrew. I supported him. I mean, I wasn't supporting what he was doing with women and everything, but in the light of his father. Anyway, he had to resign as governor. But in the meantime, his brother Chris Cuomo was trying to give him some tips on how to handle the media because they were coming at him left and right. Bill de Blasio hated his living guts. And so they were coming. Bill de Blasio was the mayor of New York at the time. This is before this other boy, Eric Adams, became mayor. So anyway, when they found out that Chris Cuomo was helping his brother with media tips on how to handle all the hullabaloo that was going on as they were trying to get him to resign, that they gave Chris Cuomo a warning. I think they said you shouldn't be doing this. It's unethical, et cetera, et cetera. Then Chris Cuomo dropped the bomb that the president of CNN was dating a woman that was on staff, and that's a no-no. You can't be dating people in their office and that kind. So that blew up, and they had to fire him and fire the woman, and now they got this new guy in there called Chris Lick. So there's been a whole lot of mess going on over there at CNN for quite some. It ain't long for this world. I mean, they had to turn it back again. But anyway, for whatever reason, Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon were tight. Now, I don't know why. I mean, I don't think Chris Cuomo has got any homosexual bones in him anyway. I think he's like his brother. But that hasn't been said. They were tight. And when CNN fired Chris Cuomo and then wouldn't give him his severance pay, which is around $25 million, wouldn't give him his severance pay, Chris Cuomo started a lawsuit against CNN. And I think, Don Lemon, I think, had a bad spirit about it. I think Don Lemon had a bad spirit, and they just kind of picked up on it. And they've been following Don. And I think they've been looking to get rid of him for quite some time. But then maybe they decided, okay, they're going to try to compete with Fox and Friends with the morning show. So they put Caitlin Collins and what's this other woman named together to do what is known as the morning show. And they were going to make, Chris Cuomo, we're going to make him the centerpiece of that morning show. But here, and I thought it wasn't even getting 500,000 viewers per day. Leave that MS Engineer. So here's what I think. I think that when Don Lemon said that a woman is a woman or is not a woman in her prime or something of that nature, a woman is said to be in her prime in her 20s, 30s, and maybe 40s. I'll tell you what I think. I think what he was saying was this. Now, you have to understand this in a larger context of what people who are homosexuals believe. I think Don Lemon, who considers himself to be a woman in the relationship he's got with this big white boy from out there, out there in West someplace he's married to, or at least they're dating. You know what I think? I'll tell you what I think, since you asked. I think that Don Lemon actually went talking about, what's her name, Nikki Haley down there. She ain't a woman in her prime no more, and she's not. But I think that he thinks that a man who's a homo has more prime and more characteristics of a woman than an actual woman with a womb does once she's past 40 years of age. That's what I think he meant. One of these movies, I forget what it was. I saw sometime when that this homosexual. It was the guy was playing the part of. I think it's Anthony. What's that boy's name? Anthony Jones. Not Anthony Jones. Anthony somebody. You know the guy. Anyway, he played the part of a homo, saying, "Why are you gonna waste all that good loving on a woman when you can do it with a man? It's better with a man than with a woman." And I think that's what Don Lemon meant. I think so they got this woman out there inside. They've got 3 women there now doing it because I don't think Don Lemon's coming back. If he does, the show is already in the toilet. It ain't going nowhere. And so it's a lot of stuff going on in the media these days. I think CNN is losing money. If you're looking at CNN now, they're trying to run some sports in the middle of the day. They're running all kind of, peaceful moments, and like you're in some sort of a Buddhist, temple or something like that. Then they're giving you the weather from all over the world. Like I care what's going on in Quito. Well, I care what the weather is down there. But I don't think that long. I think CNN is gone, and I think everybody after CNN collapses, everybody will be watching the Manning Report. Me, I'm James Evan Manning. Everybody, adios, Don Lemon.